Watch me slide in the glide, there's a ride on the spaceship. Shorty, I wanna ride. Shorty, I wanna ride. I wanna rock. I wanna rock. Yeah. Watch me ride in the spaceship. Yeah. Watch me slide as a glide, as a ride in the space.
You peep the ledger, nothing ever fresher. Find me dipping old school, candid paint is pressure. I do it to the letter, little baby sweet as nectar. With a flavor that's tailor-made from the ancestors. And baby, it's whatever, I'm moving in the stellar. I thank the Lord cause real niggas, we gon' live forever. I'm on a different level, I mean a different level. It's something special how we slide in the holy vessel. And yeah, it's presidential, no this is not a rental. We came a long way from broken oats and porcelain. No need for incidentals, the Lord provided simple. So I was told to buy a sword, so I keep a pistol. And you can get your issue, this ain't no tough talk. I make it clear, baby, I walk it how I talk. And yeah, Kwame been a boss, as I'm dipped in the sauce. While I ride in the spaceship.
Shorty, I wanna ride. Shorty, I wanna ride. I wanna rock. I wanna rock. Yeah, take a ride in the spaceship. Watch me slide in the glide, there's a ride on the spaceship. Shorty, I wanna ride. Shorty, I wanna ride. I wanna rock. I wanna rock. Yeah, watch me ride in the spaceship. Watch me slide as a glide, as a ride in the space.
When no dance, so you know it's me. Knocking pictures off the wall when I swing down on any street. Fifth wheel showing naked ass, chrome gal parked on that wet paint. Boy, that's a super freak. It's the Tejano Poppy, can't clock me. Hater blockers on designer label, say Versace. Rolls out of copies, Daniel Sons to Miyagi. I be on my player shit, one West, they be hating me. Trying to throw salt in the game, but ain't no sweating it. I be on my grind, if it's mine, yeah, I'm taking it. Vibe so authentic when she with you, yeah, she faking it. I'ma bump her down and move around and make space for it. So boomerang as I slide in, do my thing. Water tie, set a table, I'm speaking booty tang. Sidestepping out scallywags, cause that cootie tang. Tricks is for kids, and my name ain't David Blaine. I'm a moonwalk like Michael, stop playing shorty, cause these other niggas just your man. Ow.
I wanna rock, I wanna rock, yeah. Take a ride in the spaceship. Watch me slide in the glide, there's a ride on the spaceship. Shorty, I wanna ride. Shorty, I wanna ride. I wanna rock, I wanna rock, yeah. Watch me ride in the spaceship.
Let me set this right here for the intro. All right, shalom. Yahweh Shem Shabbat Thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shema Alathan. Bashim Yahweh Shah to the sisters. This is the priest house of 50 Kabashwan, and I will be teaching Friday night Lashawan Qadash. We are the ISUBK once again, starting one West history, where we learn everything you see on this board right here. Now, what we're going to be doing today is not going to look like this. It's going to be this, but it's not going to look like this because today we're going to do the basic Assyrian. For those of you who are here for this class, well, you got your notes. If you want to refresh your notes or if you want to just throw a little hints out of there, you know what I'm saying, you can, because I will be asking questions along the way. You get, I ain't gonna say granted. I don't like using granted too much. I think it's like kind of overused. I say given. Given that you know a little something, I'll be throwing little questions out there. Now, for those of you who don't know the theory, and you're tuning in online, we in a beautiful day and age where we have technology such as cell phones, laptops, iPads, and other tablets. It ain't got to be just an Apple product. I don't think that's really important when it comes to learning this truth, learning this work, or anything like that. So, with that being said, the Syrian is going to be written also in the Lashawan Qadash fashion, right? In the same cadence, so on and so forth. The only difference is there are 5 special characters. five special characters. The reason why they're special is because at the end of a word, if this special character, I'm gonna show y'all this special character is supposed to be inserted instead of the original character. That way you know that it's ending that word. You know what I'm saying? So without ado, without further ado rather, and this is bad. If I could, well no, they throw this away from the water. All right. So, for example, in our language, this is what I would look like. In our father tongue, I like to call the father tongue or the father language. This is what I would look like. But in Syrian, usually I do it like this. You can either do that, or you can, if for those of you who just being lazy out there, you can do it like that as well. But for the sake of the class, I will be doing it like this. All right. So, in same cadence. All right. Ha, ba, ga. We got ah, ba, ga, da, ha. All right. Wait, hold on. That's aba, ga, ha. Brain fart. Ah, ba, ga. That's a da. I don't know if y'all can see it, but when you write a da, it's like really like it's this, but without this. But this right here has to be extended past. That's the correct way to write it. It's like an uneven T, right? It's like an uneven T. That's the only way for me to remember. But there still is the Hebrew. Then we got ha, which will be right here. Hold on, let me write it a little clearer for you. Because sometimes, depending on how you write it, you could confuse yourself if or anybody else, right? Come a time that you with us and you wanna stick around long enough to become an officer, we'll see. That's for the Lord to decide. That's beside the point. So we got Abba, got a high, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do exactly how I did in the previous class, get that distinction, showing you what sound they make. So mainly what you're gonna gather is this is the same cadence, the same amount of characters. Well, no, I wouldn't say that because the written Hebrew is like 22 characters. You have the special characters in the Syrian, where it's technically 27. They were getting us. Audio going in and out. Mic check, mic check. Can anybody hear me? Am I still going in and out? To those of you in the chat, are you able to hear it if I just hold the mic as I go? Because I only need one hand to write. I'll wait for that. Yeah, that's better. All right, most high in Christ. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold the mic as I teach. All right. And then I might well just hire me a boom cameraman. Hold the mic like a boom mic. You know what I'm saying? Most high in Christ. All right. So we got Abagada High, right? Like I said, it's in the same fashion, same cadence. The only difference is you're adding five. It's 22 characters in the Hebrew, right? Like 22, 21. Let me see. Abagada Ha, Wazakata Ya, Kalamana Sa, iPod, Taza, Kwa, Ra, Shata. So yeah, 22, right? The only difference is you're gonna learn five special characters, but you also learn a new character. So we're gonna say you learn 27 characters, right? Because we're using Assyrian. Assyrian characters, by the way, as a side note, as I write this down, right? Assyrian characters are Babylonian characters, but when you add comets, that's what the Ashkenazis and all of that, whatever, that's what they do to add unnecessary syllables and try to basically take our language and bastardize it. So it's bastardized twice when you think about that Syrian character because not only did they take the Abba Gada Ha, turn to E's, U's, and all of that, they went back and replaced the characters with Babylonian characters. That's like is messed over twice, right? That's gonna be the main difference, right? Let me see, right? 1 second. Let me make sure. There we go. All right, now we got Wazakata Ya right here. Let me make sure I write the syllables for that. Now, granted, I know a lot of brothers and sisters be having a question about I don't get it. But right. So the question about this is people be like, if it's written CHAA, is it cha? Why y'all say ka? And it's clearly not saying ka. Well, that comes from dialect or like act like just ebonics, your accent. Let's just say your accent, and how things were about. Now, technically, well, correctly, the flat out strict black and white is when it comes to this specific character, it's pronounced ha, right? That's the pronunciation of it. So really, like if I was saying it'd be abagada ha, waza ha, ta, then ta and ya. And yes, ya is this little small character right here. It's like a small rock. You're gonna see a rock later on, but it's like a small rock. That's all that is, and it floats. It floats. Do not write it down here. If I write a word, let me see. Let's say Salaki, right? In the Assyrian, right? It would look like this. That's how it would look in Assyrian. It will float up here. Do not write it down here. That's not where it belongs. It does not belong there. It's supposed to float. But that's how Salakia, Salakia. Yeah, that's how I said it right. I had to make sure that's weird. But you get why we do it though. It's like it is all boiled down to your natural accent. So we usually naturally you hear, I always hear us say Salakia because that is a very difficult character to pull off as far as pronunciation. But flat out black and white, how you pronounce this character, it is ha, right? So Wazaha Taya, right? Next, we got Ka. Now, the Ka in the Assyrian, the actual Ka, Naha part two is Ka, right? That would be written out exactly like this. We know what a C look like, right? That's a C. So think of a backwards C, but kind of elongated a little bit. That right there is a Ka. That's how you write that in the Syrian. I know it looks weird. Y'all just gotta bear with me. The white man, the devil. That's why these characters are being written out right now. Because a lot of cases, you will find a lot of Assyrian, but it all moves in the same cadence. And when they bunch together, they do make up the same words in the natural Lashawan Qadash, which also proves once again how much they steal and bastardize our language. So we'll be able to read all type of tabloids. We'll be able to read different buildings. We can even look at their news. We ain't got to understand what they're saying. We ain't here to learn Yiddish, but we can read what they putting out, and we can make up those words and translate them ourselves, right? So in a sense, just give yourself a pat on the back from learning this, because after this class right here, this class on the Assyrian, you could say that you know three languages, assuming that you only know English and no other language, and then you know the previous, which is the Paleo Hebrew, and then you know Assyrian. So technically, you know three languages. Zod, do you write like a sideways five? Okay, I'm real quick. I'm gonna break down the steps for it. So I'm gonna erase it real quick. That's a good question. So I'm gonna erase it real quick. So what you'll do, you'll throw a slant, you will drop it. So yeah, you could say it like that, like a sideways five, but I wouldn't say that because You gotta make sure you just get at the curve. So think of it, yeah, think of it like a fire that is leaning. Cause I do get why you say that. If I do this, it looks like a five, right? So yeah, think of it like an ugly five, but then just make sure you throw a line right there at the top, like it's like a helicopter now. So yeah. That's a good way of thinking of it. That's smart. Everybody got that unique way of just pretty much remembering, right? That's like for example, like when it comes to don't write this down in your Syrian notes, but I'm just using this for an example. This right here is a ta in the Paleo Hebrew. Do not write this down in your notes. This is not a Syrian. This is Paleo. This is the original Hebrew. And the only way for me to remember that, everybody seen X-Men. That's that's how I was able to remember the character when I first started learning Lashawan Qadash. So what you're doing is correct. Yeah, what the brother's doing, that's something that everybody should get into the habit of doing. When it comes to learning characters in the Hebrew or in the Syrian, give those type of references, right? Give those type of references. Give yourself those distinctions of like, oh, this remind me of this character. That way, you like when it comes to time, you just going over your notes, you practicing, you'll be able to write it out. Because there's gonna come a time I'm gonna call you up to the board, write me this in the Assyrian, or write me this in our language, and you should be able to do that at some point in time. I'll let you use your notes, but there's gonna be a time I'm gonna ask you to do it without your notes. So yeah, what the brother doing, that's what y'all should be doing. However which way it take for y'all to learn this truth, learn this knowledge, learn this Lashwan Qadash, do it. Right? So that's a lie. Now the ma, real ugly. That's a ma. It's like a little house with a little opening at the bottom of it, and they got a little chimney right there. We call it the open house. But this is a special character as well. But that's a ma, right? Now would look like an ugly three, right? It would literally look like this. That's a nah. This ugly three is a nah. Then your sigh, well, I already wrote it down for the example, so I'm gonna write it again. This weird character is a sigh. Like it look like a spook head, right? So over here is the rest of the characters. How I'm gonna write it out. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna write it out straight up like this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna angle the camera. As a matter of fact, no, yeah, I'm gonna do it like that. I'm just angle the camera. I don't want nobody confusing themselves on what comes next in the alphabet, right? So the I literally looks like a Y, like a crooked Y with like two lines going through the top of it. Let me see if I can write that a little better. As a matter of fact, let me bring this camera over here. A little more. That way, that way I can walk it down for y'all. Right. Are y'all able to see that? If you're able to see it, let me know in the chat. If you're not able to, I'm already on it. That would be an I. Well, technically, this side's supposed to be slightly lower, not that close. So let's say go like about like right here. That's an I. Wait for it. Hang it down. Perfect. Perfect. I like it. All right. I then the pie. The pie literally will look like this. Think hangman. When you're writing the pie in the Syrian, think hangman. But really, I'm gonna do it like this. It's easy for me to write like that. But I wrote it. I tried to write it the first way so you kind of see how it looks like a hangman. But this is a pie. Think hangman, right? If you can't see it, let me know, and I adjust the camera. But I'm gonna keep going on. Now the Taza in this is simple. It's real simple. Following. That's the Taza. All right. Then we got Qua. The Qua actually resembles the Taza in the Paleo Hebrew. The only difference is it don't connect, and it got a real small tail. It'd be like this. That's the Taza. That's the Taza right here in the Assyrian. I mean, not the Taza, but this is a Qua to like a brain fart. But the Qua, Bailey would how I had the brain fart. I'm gonna just break it down to you. The Kwa in the Syrian looks like the Taza. This is the Taza in our language. So right here I'm gonna put our. That's our language. This is the Assyrian. Let me move this over where y'all can see. Move over a little bit more where y'all can see a little better. You see that? When it says our, that's our Taza. This is our Taza. This is Taza in our language. But in Assyrian, you will see that their quad looks like our Taza. The only difference is it does not connect right here. This actually goes over, and the tail is way smaller. That's the main difference. All right, and then we got Ra, which is basically a bigger version of the Ya. Next, we have Sha. And we got Tha. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna walk over here once again, and I'm gonna angle the camera down. And I'm gonna move it closer to the board where y'all be able to write those notes down. Let's see something. Let me see if I can just move right in front of it. Yeah, y'all get a better looking glimpse of those characters. There we go. Ha, Taza, Wa, Ra, Shai, and Tha. All right. And that will be how you write those special characters right there. Well, them ain't special characters, but those are the remaining characters. I'm gonna show you how to write special characters. Yeah, remember, I'm gonna give y'all time to write all this down in your notes. Whenever everybody got this taken down in their notes, so they got screenshots, just simply just put con or something like that, a con or maybe the number one, whatever it is. Just put it in the chat. That way I know. And if you have any questions, just feel free to drop them in the chat. Any questions in the room, you already know. Just let me know. All right. So I'm not gonna move any further until everybody gives me a signal that they are ready. As a matter of fact, yeah, put a con in the chat once you're done with your notes. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't able to write it down, just screenshot it. Either way it go, you got your notes. That's all that matter. Well, while we waiting on everybody to get done, really for time's sake, I'm gonna just write a rule up here. Rule 5 special characters. Man, I'm in that way probably. Hold on. 5 special characters. All right. Okay, I see cons in chat. Perfect. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cock this up, and y'all can make a space somewhere or get find some type of way to add this into your notes, or screenshot, whatever. But this is a rule for the 5 special characters. It says rule: the 5 special characters are only used at the end of word. Let me put an S in there. Are only used at the end of words or word, right? So I'm gonna give y'all some time to be able to screenshot that or write that down, that rule. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna erase all of the characters and I'm gonna write the character that do got got a special character that will be used at the end of a word. And then I will write the special character right up underneath. All right. So with that being said, and just you know what I'm saying, yeah, a little more time. I'd say about like 10, 20 seconds. Cause y'all more likely write faster than me if you're writing on, pad and pen. But if you screenshot and shoot, you already got me beat by 2 seconds. All right. So now I'm gonna erase this. I'm gonna erase all of this. Throw those special characters in there. All right. So I'm gonna move this. Trust the old camera right here. There we go. So 5 special characters will include Kai, right? I'm gonna write slash under it. Taza, I'm gonna write slash under it, right? Pi, right? I'm gonna write slash under it. Never got 2 more special characters, and I'm gonna write those up under here, right? Did you have a question? Oh, dang. I don't know why I thought. I don't know why I thought I heard Salaki. Salaki. So we got Kai, Tyler, Pa. We got 2 more characters. Can anybody guess what those other 2 characters are? Can anybody guess what the last 2 special characters are? The last 2 characters that could have special characters. There's a wild guess. Just throw it out there. The only hint you get is in the, let's say, in the English alphabet, they go well together, like peanut butter and jelly. They stuck like glue. If you don't have a guess, or you don't want to take a guess, or you don't have that answer, whatever, just put la I. If you don't not spell la I, an English character that would be spelled in the fashion of L-A-A-H. La I. If you're typing it in. If you don't want to go for the answer, or if you don't have the answer, just put la I in the chat. In the English, it is spelled L-A-A-H. All right. So I wait on that. You look like the baby want to come up on the dry erase board, ain't it? I don't see no little eyes in the chat. I don't see nobody try to guess. I might, I can't just leave those up there by themselves. I mean, like, I'm sure we all want to know those other two right there. I'm like, and I gave y'all one hint. It probably ain't a good hint, but that's the thing about hints. They gotta be helpful, but very big. I'm not moving further till I see anything in the chat. So while we wait on that, you know what I'm saying? Some tell me one of y'all got the answer though. I'm really hoping one of y'all guess. I really count on one of y'all to guess, and not two of y'all at least. The hint is these two characters. Well, I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna add on to the hint. All right, these two characters. They were stole from the Lashawan Qadash, the so-called Paleo Hebrew, which I just like to say Father Tongue. I said I got one la'ah. All right, there's one la'ah. Okay, there's another la'ah. Taza and Kai. Them already up here. This is the Kai. This is the Taza. But I'm glad y'all gave answer. So this is for time's sake, Ma and Na. It's like they were stolen and became M and N, but they still stick together. Like, glue. You know what I'm saying? So we got Ma and we got I just write both of them down a little lower. We got Ma. Dang, that was crazy. That was overly crazy. Imagine that writing cursive series. Right? Ma and Na. So what I'm gonna do is on top of these, this the only time I'm gonna do this. On top of these, and maybe no, I'm just still doing it on the bottom. I'm not gonna confuse the pattern. So the special characters for Kai, uh, I done made a lean. It was supposed to be like straighter. That's special character for Kai, right? For Taza, the special character would be that. You just removing the tail. For Pi, you just removing this the little leg part right here, the foundation of it. Then for my and nah, well, this is nah. For my, this is this closed house. And for nah, slant it, drop it. Oh yeah, kind, see. Oh wait, no, hold on. Is it why? Which one? Oh no, it ain't why. I ain't think about it. Nah. Okay, so let me put the characters or they sounds up under here. Taza, ha, ma, and we got nah. So these are the characters right here. The original characters and the special characters if used at the end of a word. But I appreciate y'all for trying. Y'all can get yourselves in most high in Christ. When it comes to teaching and learning, well, when spit not let me scratch the teaching off of there. When it comes to learning, the only wrong question is the question that never gets asked, right? And then now I'm gonna jump to teaching. The only wrong answer when it comes to teaching is an answer that's never given. All right. So never be nervous or scared to ask a question. All right. Literally, the only wrong question you can ask is the question you never asked. If you didn't ask it, that what makes it wrong. If you ask it, you get the answer, and now you're right on it. All right. You can either be right from the jump, or in that sense, you asking that question, you can learn to be right. And when it comes to teaching, for you brothers who plan on sticking around long enough and you want to be an officer or you want to move on up, the only wrong answer you could give is no answer. In my personal philosophy, no answer is still an answer, but it's automatically the wrong answer. All right. And when you get that, when you start moving on up in the ranks, you gotta be apt to teach. Because the scripture says be apt to teach. And that just means be ready to teach at all times, all right? So I always have a question for I always have an answer for somebody's question. And whatever you don't know, go to the man above you and get an answer for your question, all right? But yeah, these are the five with special characters. All right here. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, once again, y'all good for giving answers out there. And for those of you who didn't want to try, y'all put La Most High in Christ. All right, because that still kind of is an answer right there. That's a good answer. La That's the right answer. If you don't know, you just don't know. But you never not answer somebody's question. All right? Never do that. So now that we got special characters, you know, what I'm gonna do is give an example of that rule that I told y'all to write down. The five special characters are only used, or you can say applied, at the end of a word. For example, let's say our word is shalom, right? Now, of course, well, let me make sure y'all got y'all notes. Y'all got y'all notes? Put a con in the chat if you got your notes. Con means yes. To those of you who don't know, and then we're gonna just do a basic, you know, crash course with it. You know what I'm saying? Just applying it, the special characters to a word. Our word is gonna be is a common word amongst Israel, which will be shalom, right? Shalom will be our word. So once I get cons in the chat, I can go ahead and get started. And if there's any other words that you're curious of seeing how it's written out in the, Assyrian, go and throw it out there. Just put it in the chat. Just put it in the chat. All right, I see one kind, Most High in Christ. The brother ready. Young man Shaq, the only one ready. Oh man. Take your time with your notes though. Don't let me just fool around too much now. I see another kind, Most High in Christ. I'm going based off of how many people is just in the class and being interactive. If you're tuning in, basically I see 5 people online. I need to see at least 5 cons. There's 3 being interactive, so I'm good with 3. But I'm seeing 5 people tuning in. Most High in Christ. Oh, brother, you ain't gotta put everything up there in the chat now. Yeah, you ain't gotta put everything in the chat now. All right, you know what I'm saying. You gotta be careful when you're on your phone and driving, brother. Unless you would just let me know that why it was kind of taking you a while. That's understandable. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta be a daredevil. All right, them 3 that was mainly interactive in the chat. So I go ahead and move on with how it would look. So how it would look, I'm gonna write the word shalom, right? So of course we are not spell shalom. It will be sha, la, and a ma, right? So we got our sha, and it's gonna be that. Like, don't mind me sometimes, y'all. I'm a perfectionist, all right? Sha, la, then we got ma. This will be how you write shalom in the Syrian. That's how you write shalom in the Syrian right here. By using a sha, la, and a special ma. And for the special ma, I'm gonna put an asterisk right next to it. Let you know you're using a special ma, and that makes up shalom. How do you say how are you? Is that what she asked? Okay, so it's a way you can say it. Let me see. But first, I'm gonna leave it up there for 10, 20 seconds. I'm finna answer your question. I'm finna write on the board as a matter of fact. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how I usually do it, like, you know how we be like, you good? Like, so, or we be like, you tawab, right? It's you got a correct way, then you got more of like a slang way, right? You could say a tab, or you could say a tab, tab, right? But either way it go, how you carry your voice or how you sound it out gives off that distinction if it's a question or not, right? So those are 2 ways you can use it, right? Then there's also a whole nother way, but I'm gonna write that on the board. That's a very good question. So we're gonna. Do I have any more questions along with that I need to be hitting the board up with? Do I have any more questions on the board? Do I have any more questions in the chat that I need to be hitting the board up with? If I do, let me know. How many answers I got in the chat? Nobody. So just one question. Okay, I see so far just one question. So, how are you? I'm gonna give you the answer for that in our next class, like for the correct way, but as far as like slang wise, and of course with Ebonics, when we ask how somebody is, we be like, you good, right? So the Hebrew word for you is a thigh. When it now we we always say to but that's slang. But when you're referring to somebody, the word good, the correct word that you would use for good would be your child. So that would be the slang word. That would be how you say it in slang, right? Now I'm a after this class, immediately after this class, I'm gonna reach out to the men above me and ask how do I properly say it? Like how are you? Now, granted, I speak slang in English, in the Hebrew, and even in Spanish. So when you ask me, I'm gonna give you the slang. I'm gonna give you the answer, but it's gonna be slang, right? Responses to that question. Okay, so the response will be, "I am good." So That's also a good question. Or you could say, yeah, or you could either use a top, or you could be a top, because you're making you the possessive, right? Just to give it right there, just throwing it out there, right? But anyways, you know what I'm saying? A response to that would be, "I am good," right? In the Hebrew, "I" or "I am" would be, and yeah. Oh, hold on, let me make sure I see that. And yeah, and good, like I said, when you're referring to somebody or you're talking about people, the correct terminology instead of Tawab is Yatab, and yeah, Yatab. All right, and that would be how you respond to that. And yeah, Yatab, right? So that would be a response. This is question. This is the answer. Right? And like I said, you ask me, I most definitely know the phrase in slang. Some or most in a lot of other cases, yeah, I know the correct terminology. But as far as asking somebody how are they, I'm used to using slang in the Hebrew, no different than like in Spanish. They'd be like, for example, "Como estás?" But me, I como andas. Literally, it don't matter, but it's English, Spanish, Hebrew. I'm giving you the slang. That's what you're gonna hear when you talk to me. All right. Before I end the class, do I have any more questions? No, it wouldn't be dropped in your tab. No, it would not be a drop. The reason why you could use thigh at the end of your tab, like your top the right. The reason why you can is because you're making the you, the person that you're speaking to, the literally the possessor. Like as far as like they like that's the possessor. That's the what's it called? That's the subject. Salaki. That's the subject pronoun, right? That's the subject pronoun. Salaki. I keep saying possessive. So the subject pronoun would be you. For example, if I'm talking to you, you would be the subject pronoun. You're making you basically directing that your top to you. That's where this thought come from. It is basically just making it very, very direct. That's what you're doing with that. And then of course, you know what I'm saying? If your answer could be I am good. Somebody say Atayatata or Atayatab, however you wanted to put it. You can either do it the correct way or you can just do it heavily slang, Atayatab or Atayatapa, and then I will respond with Anyayatab. All right. Oh no, when you pronounce it, I'm not sure if you're able to hear me, but I would like for the top line, Atah. And then for right here, where it says Yatapta, that's literally how you pronounce it. Yatapta. You wouldn't have to actually drop it. You wouldn't have to drop the thigh. You would not have to drop it. Or you wouldn't have to drop the B in your top. Yatapta. Yatapta. Now the B is going with what you saying out the whole word, the B it's gonna come out, it's gonna roll off your tongue, but it's gonna roll out pretty low. That's why it would seem like it's dropped, but it's your top. You can say your top or your top, right? More preferably your top. More preferably, right? But if you're talking to me, I will be able to pretty much guess what you're saying, and I will be real sharp with it. But no, to answer your question, you will not have to drop the B. The B does not have to be dropped. All right. But yeah, you can either use your topper or you can use your top. All right. Do I have any more questions before I end the class? All right. Make sure you have time to write it down. And then if don't nobody have any more questions, I'm gonna end it on that. And then we're gonna okay, there we go. Okay, we usually just say Sabbath service. The brother's so starved though. He said it's Shabbat. Okay, it would be starting at regular time in the morning. Sabbath service, just as an announcement, Sabbath service will be starting at regular time tomorrow from 9 o'clock a.m. to 11. All right, from 9 to 11, regular time. Nah, she good. It will be most high in Christ. All right, and with that, if as long as don't nobody have any questions, we are the ISUPK, start out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. This is Priest House of 50 Kabash one, teaching Friday night Lashawan Qadash class. We went over the Syrian and we went over the 5 special characters. And then, sister had a great question, and then it'll follow behind 2 other great questions as well. All right. So, you know, like I said, when it comes to teaching, I always be apt to teach. I always have an answer. The worst answer you can give is no answer at all. All right. And the worst question you can ask is the question you never asked. And with that, shalom.